What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 9 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Tyrion Old World, damn it every time, Mortal Empires expanded campaign. So as we saw last time, we have taken Albion, Bellicor has fallen, and Kinquata is ours. And we have also managed to have a very lovely fight against Heinrich Kemmler out here in Bordello, where the cannibalistic Cadril and her army managed to defeat the ghouls and perhaps out-eat them as well. And probably the other undead as well, to be fair. Anyway, in terms of what we got to do this time around, it's effectively a brand new turn, and there frankly is a lot of moves to be made. Though one thing I think that perhaps we should start with is attempting to do the SUNFANG quest for Tyrion. Now, the way I figure it, and actually, I just had a thought. Can you? You can't reach the Isle of Wights from here. I was hoping that you could immediately trade with Colin, unless, wait, maybe you can. It might be a good way to level up new silver helms and such for Tyrion's army. Alright, you know what? Colin, do this. Let's see if this works out. You're supposed to deliver these guys to Tyrion anyway. Now, I did kind of want to send Tyrion out this way to intercept Capitano Cisco or possibly Igrim Abel, but at the same time, if we can do the SUNFANG battle, that would be real swell. So go here. And I guess then the question is, what are we going to get rid of? In theory, technically speaking, the High Elven archers are here to take the place of, eventually, the Gate Guard, the Exalted Gate Guard, which will eventually be in this army, which is why I haven't swapped those guys out yet. It's going to be a while before we get Exalted Gate Guard, because they need tier 5 and several of our heroes to do it. In that light, well, A, frankly, we should just get some regular Gate Guard in here, but B, these guys are going to be replaced by a unit of a similar archetype. Assuming that you two become Phoenix Guard, maybe replace the ship's companies, although I've been reasonably happy with the ship's companies in this army so far. I feel like maybe Tyrion's army wants to do more damage in melee rather than range, especially since the archers are going to be kind of a danger to the various silver hounds. You know what? Plus, these guys are named, so until we can transfer them, maybe we'll do this. Alright. Also, Tyrion, since we put the Sword of Khaine back, we can't put the Helm of Dreska back, which is why I've decided that I want to do the SUNFANG battle rather than the other battle. And what I would like to do is give you a weapon. You know what? Who's not using his... Oh, wow, we barely have any... Yeah, Sword of Strife is basically our only option. Billionaire isn't using it right now, anyway. Also, we got a level up. Let's get hard to hit, shall we? Like so, and in fact, let's level up everybody. Since we're going to be fighting and all, fueled by flame, perfect vigor, and more HP for Shtari, I like it. Handmaiden, technically speaking, not staying in this army, but for now, you have your uses. Get your retinue valet again. And yes, get the first favored of Isha. Actually, now that you're at rank 17, in theory, the best thing to do with you would be to replace you with a different handmaiden until she's up to rank 16 as well. I would assume that you can't actually, we could immediately replace you in Tyrion's army with the one in Erathon's army right now. This might actually be a good idea. Lots of additional XP. We can put you temporarily into Colin's army to get delivered somewhere else. I just want to double check something. So you have the critical replenish troops and retinue physician and the retinue valet. What do you have? You are... you do not have retinue physician, though you're getting kind of close to it either way. Yeah, alright. Let's go renowned. Let's actually start with retinue valet rather than retinue quartermaster this time. Then we can move you out. In fact, we could probably easily swap you. Go out here into the water.
Our ancestors watch.
Like so. Every handmaiden that reaches rank 16 is more public order that we don't have to worry about. And then you're going to pop out here, and into Tyrion's army, go replenish troops. And again, all of those are temporary because Gate Guard do not get benefits from Hawkish Precision, therefore we will not be using those guys in the army. And, oh, I thought I did the point for Caradron, but apparently not. Or, oh, actually he probably had multiple points, and I probably did. Hold on. Good job, May. Anyway, let's see. Experience of years gives you melee defense +6, which is pretty solid, and Horsemaster will be of use to us. I I don't like how favored by Asuryan is not an option here, but what can you do? Either way, you're actually surprisingly low on melee attack. I'm gonna get you Blade Master. Alright, Mage of the Heavens. We could put another point in Uranon's or Wind Blast or Comet, or we could go through here the Eataine into Potent. The other option is, let's see, Miscast base chance reduction, cooldown for spells and speed, and Winds of Magic cost for spells, and that's good. But it's at rank 25, so frankly we should probably save it. Save the points so that we can reach it. Let's get Lilith's Blessing and Arcane Finesse, and then let's save the points for Excellent Efficiency afterwards. Lovely. And then the Noble, which similarly is maybe not staying in this army. Actually, there's very few units in this army that are, technically speaking, going to stay in its final form, but for now we're okay. Let's get your Blade Master into Valor Seeker like so. Lovely. Then,
Protector of the Everqueen.
I guess, assuming we can't level up these Illyrian Reavers into Silver Helms yet, they need to be rank 5. Close, but not quite there. I guess we're ready to do the fight. The only thing is, as I mentioned, like, actually a while ago now, several episodes ago, the SUNFANG quest battle used to be broken. It used to be that enemies, the spawning of the enemy reinforcements didn't get triggered, and it was bugged for years, like actually years. I don't know why CA refuses to fix this battle. I don't know if it's still bugged. I'm hoping that it's not. Actually, you know what? Before we start the battle, we could simply quick save it, and then... yeah, okay, that's what we'll do. If nothing else, we could always auto-resolve it. Either way, we're giving this a read. SUNFANG. Tyrion's legend wanes upon poison rumor that his prowess is an illusion and due only to SUNFANG, the enchanted blade he took as his own. Tyrion could ignore such buncombe, but pride prevents it. The crusade that follows is bloody and feverish, but in its wake none can contest his skill. Back in court, the conniving princes behind the feigned scandal share wicked smiles, for Tyrion has played into their hands. The conspiring courtiers convince the mages of Hoeth that there is only one explanation for his recent aggression. He is a puppet of the Druki. With remorse, the lore masters array against him. The defender of Ulthuan regrets taking arms against fellow Asur, but the scheming princes will pay the blood price for their envy. Teleport. Alrighty, so... I'm going to quick save this here because, again, this quest battle used to be broken. And if it is broken, what we'll do is simply reload and just auto-resolve it. But we will try to fight it the real way. For now, let's go. The elves have a saying that once a sword is drawn, then it should not be sheathed again until offender's blood is spilt. Tyrion finds himself accused of dark elf sympathies by the lore masters. It matters little that this situation has been brought about by the intrigues of selfish princes jealous of him, I guess. This thing always loads too fast.
This is a sad day for Ulthuan, when Asur fights Asur within sight of the White Tower. Belcorhadris would surely weep, as I will for the dead that I slay this day. But make no mistake, I will reap a toll, for my honor has been called into question. The offense must be sated, and only then shall I take up SUNFANG to fight the true enemies of the Phoenix Throne.
Alrighty, here we go. Let's see if the SUNFANG battle actually works or whether it doesn't. Nice to see that it'll be a nice bright map so we can see Tyrion facing off against all those swords masters and lore master. I don't see them here, but they're coming in as reinforcements. This little army that is arrayed against us is relatively minor, and I think being an older quest, most likely the foes have a tendency to be a bit weaker, at least in terms of numbers, though the quest battle buffing them up will make them considerably stronger than normal. Basically 50% increase to all of their damaging stats. Oh, and I noticed the spell mastery plus 50%, so their spells are going to hit way harder. Huh, that's going to be interesting against the lore masters in particular. Anyway, oh wow, the reinforcements are here already. The game didn't even wait for us to go forward. And here we have the Swords Masters. I want to see, yeah, we do have a Banner of Sapphire. Isn't that lovely? Since we don't have Swords Masters of our own as yet, I just wanted to see what their banner, or one of their banner variants, I suppose, would look like. We have another prince as well as a lore master here. Don't you worry, we'll get Bellinaire the same as soon as we can. Anyway, the battle will start off with Tyrion rushing way ahead of the rest of his army, at the very least the infantry army, though we can see over on the left flank all 4 of our cavalry units making their way forward. Also, I like how Tyrion talks about, it's gonna be sad, I'm gonna have to kill all these guys, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Whereas, like, you know, he just likes killing people, so, yeah, I don't know how sad he's really gonna be. Frankly, he'd probably enjoy testing himself against swords masters and would be proud of himself for defeating them. Anyway, over on the left flank, even before waiting for our infantry to arrive, especially since the swords masters are not here, here come the Silver Helms and Illyrian Reavers. Lovely to see the Elven cavalry maneuvering around. It'll be a while until we get Dragon Princes, but the Silver Helms and Illyrian Reavers do look pretty good, so we'll continue getting plenty of uses out of them now, especially that Tyrion has them in decent numbers. Speaking of Tyrion, he's still running around, though we did activate the Curse of Anarion, and thusly he is rampaging somewhere instead of attacking the enemy lord. But I guess A, we're used to that, and B, we have Caradrian here. Though I feel like if regardless of, you know, being manipulated by jealous princes or whatever crazy justification they have here, Safari, the wisest of all, are going to be the ones to be manipulated. Sure, why not? Just like they're the ones that get Slaneshified. Again, I don't understand why the devs have it out for Safari, but anyway, the Lore Masters seeing Caradrian and the Phoenix Guard march together with Tyrion. I feel like just their presence alone, the captain of the Phoenix Guard, would probably make them think twice about what the heck they're doing here. Obviously, this is you know, contrived to give us a quest battle, but nonetheless. Anyway, looks like the bounce power is very much in our favor at about 60%, but more lore masters and swords masters are advancing into the fray, or a lore master leading a couple of swords masters, and the enemy single entities are going to have a bad time here. The company of the Calendarian has surrounded one of the princes, and all of the, well, yeah, there's a few ships companies in there as well, but the armor-piercing great axes of these guys should allow them to obliterate the prince without too much trouble. Especially since Tyrion's too busy rampaging around thanks to the Curse of Anarion. Alright, how are we doing otherwise? Well, this does mean that our infantry have arrived, and the first little army out here is rapidly getting surrounded and annihilated. Ooh, there's that mastery coming in from the spell mastery, rather. A single Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma doing 50% damage to a unit of Silver Helms. It doesn't kill off any of their models, but that's a pretty ridiculous amount of damage for a spell that costs like 6 mana or something like that. To a unit of Silver Helms, mind you. Anyway, hey, Tyrion's out of rampage at long last, though he was going for the Swords Masters and the Lore Master here. He's gonna peel away to try to go after the enemy Lord. The Lord that remains, as one of them is dead, though these guys are now surrounded. And we will intercept the Swords Masters real quick with some of the ship's companies who will get knocked down. The Swords Masters will, I'm sure, block off a decent little bit of arrow fire. Actually, with the Swords Masters to Bronze Shield, I feel like there's a stat or a trait or some kind of buff that increases their missile block rates, and if we get Khaine allies and give them a war drum, we could probably get Swords Masters up to gold shields, despite not having, well, shields. Which might be pretty neat. Either way, for now, the arrows rain down upon them, though once again we don't have a lot of armor piercing in this particular battle. What we do have is, or had, the Curse of the Midnight Wind to debuff them, though with 66-77, their stats are pretty darn insane. Are they still above half HP? They're not about, wow, okay, yeah, there we go. Now they're down to 66-44. That's a little bit better. They also had Stand Your Ground active, and above 50% they had their Martial Mastery. Still, they're surrounded now, and they're the last units on the field. The enemy Lord has been defeated, and with him it looks like these Swords Masters will break. Our cavalry crashes into the last units of Swords Masters with a little bit of help from our Eagle Riding Noble, who we're probably eventually going to put on a horse, but I haven't decided yet. Once we have a little bit more, you know, in the way of phoenixes here. And then a nice little bit of pincering from the Illyrian Reavers and Silver Helms working together to run the Swords Masters down and shatter them, bringing the last unit, yes, off the field and bringing the battle to a close. Looks like we're good. We get SUNFANG and we don't even have to reload. Isn't it lovely? Alrighty, there we go. Looks like it isn't broken after all, unless I'm misremembering and it was the Dragon Armor Venerian that was broken, but I'm 90% sure it was SUNFANG, so it looks like we're good. Decent little fight. Took a while to bring down the Swords Masters and Lore Masters. I kept expecting a Dark Elven army to actually come in, or at least maybe some Dark Elven Assassins or something like that, but apparently not. Just killed a bunch of Lore Masters. The devs really have it out for Safari and the White Tower for some bizarre reason. I'd actually love to pick their brains, and I'm just curious why they dislike Safari so much. But anyway, we are looking pretty okay here. Let's see, damage-wise, looks like the Seafoam Slayers took home the prize for the named units of ships companies. Tweety did take 50% HP damage, but poor thing always does, as the AI loves to focus it down. And solid work out of our Silver Helms with Lances. With 16k damage in the rank 7, did the Illyrian Reavers didn't level up? That was the one thing I wanted out of this. I mean, well, other than SUNFANG and the casualty replenishment rate and the money and the... Okay, that wasn't the one thing I wanted. There was lots of things that I wanted, but shut up. Alrighty, well, SUNFANG is a pretty great weapon, so it's not like the lack of the Sword of Khaine makes Tyrion all that much significantly weaker, because this allows him to still hit very, very hard, so yeah. Anyway, unfortunately that took all of our movement range, so we won't be able to go after Egrim here. But what can you do? Oh, we can select a new tech though, and I do believe I was going to say hardwood construction last time, as we are starting to use chariots in various armies. Ooh, speaking of chariots, unless I'm mistaken, you're in range of Harganeth now, or Hagrief rather. Yes. Alright, this I like. Yo. Oh, right. Once again, you're not supposed to be in this. Well, actually, no, you could still buff up the Eagle Claw Bolters with your additional reload rate, assuming they're not maxed out, and at 5.1 they are not yet. Therefore, there will be a use for you. Hawkish Precision won't benefit them at all, however, though it will benefit your ability to do range damage. Entangle is a good option in this particular army, though the weakness to fire damage would be wasted here. I'm almost just tempted to go for Diplomat of the Everqueen. Get a little bit of all faction relations. Well, either way, you're getting replenished weapons. Now, I'm going to think about it. Either way, no matter what we do there, we will want Retinue Valet on everybody. Alright, then we are going to push towards Hagrief, and we will ask... Well, we're not asking the Cabal, so we'll ask the Exiles of Nehek to join the war against Nagaron. We'll take their money. We're not going to do any alliances for now because... Cut up, please. What was I saying? His dry throat yelling distracted me completely. Yeah, the factions near him may very well not like him very much. He's okay with the Heralds of Ariel and... Heck? Stankia? What are you doing? Are you actually attempting to attack Tyrannok? Now I get it, Tyrannok are a bunch of isolationists, raging, rabid, isolationist jerkfaces. However, and the fact that they have been fighting Illyrian since the start of the campaign has been tremendously irritating. However, that's an Elven problem for Elves to solve. If you land on Ulthuan and take an Elven territory, we will kill you. It's a bad idea. I advise you against it. Good luck. I wish you well. Anyway. I do believe... Oh, right. We besiege Hagrief, and... I guess we allow them to sally out. What do we have here? Wait, no. Let's face it, it'll be much more interesting to fight this as a field battle. As a siege battle, easy peasy, use our 6 frickin' Eagle Claw Bolters to tear down all the towers, kill half the enemy army inside, and then pincushion them afterwards. On the field, however, they can rush our Eagle Claws, so I'd rather leave them to it. Alright, Alistar, I do believe you had a battle as well, assuming we had no blurb. I don't believe we did. Or at the very least, I believe we did the blurbs that we had last time. Actually, somebody in the comments reminded me that I did miss the 2 blurbs for the Pure Main Company and Rahagra's Pride here. Just from my recollection, yeah, Rahagra is legendary father of the White Lions, an ally to Kurnos, god of the hunt, lives on through his fearsome pride. Yeah, so Rahagra was the sort of the first White Lion, the originator, the primogenitor of the White Lions. And like the war lines, not these white lines, the war lines, and I take it that Rahagra's pride is you know, has the pedigree. Though I don't know how you keep track of the pedigree of a bunch of wild war lines who attack people and stuff. Though again, bored elves, I perhaps wouldn't be surprised if that's something they would get into. And then the Pure Main Company is Corhill's hand-picked guys. Corhill's in charge of the white lines there. In fact, he should, as I recall, have the... I selected Alistar this time. Pick a white line, any white line. He should have the Pure Main Company trait. Handpicked by Corhill to aid in his quest, each of the Pure Main Company understood the enormity of the task before them and prepared to die in his prosecution. This is not being clear at all. Okay, so what this is probably talking about is in the end times, Corhill was with Malekith, when Malekith was with Marathi, being an absolute nut job, and, you know, slaughtering the other elves, and then Corhill decided, you know what, I have enough of this, and he stole the Sword of Khaine and tried to escape. Unfortunately, it didn't end well for him, spoilers alert, but he tried at the end there, you know, had to redeem himself. Anyway, we're gonna attack Mr. Ugruk Correctooth. You are at war with Carcassonne, therefore, Carcassonne, we will join your war against the Skull Smashes. These are the Skull Smashes, right? Yes it is. Do we want to take your money? Frankly, I think we've saved you, so we're probably fine to take your money. I'm not gonna do the military alliance with you because I don't trust it, but I will take your cash for now. Alright. We should also probably do some building, but anyway. For now, you, Corhill, will reinforce Alistar. Frankly, we will trade the Pure Main Company back to you, most likely, but only after we attack this guy. Ooh, let's double up on the XP, or increase the XP, by hitting Mr. Ugruk. And there we go. And with 2 armies, obviously it's in our favor, but the giants, pump wagons, trolls, black orcs, not to be underestimated, especially powered by Wa. Go.
To battle!
Alrighty, here we go. Giant pile of white lines, war lines, and rangers that we have from these 2 armies are going to pincer the orc host and probably hack them apart decently well. Since the enemy doesn't appear to be moving towards us immediately, we'll take advantage of that by getting a few volleys off with our Reaper bolt throwers into a unit of Blackworks. Keep in mind we only have a single Reaper bolt thrower, and this army isn't really built for them. We're just using it for the purpose of having Siege Attacker in the army. And again, for any mobile armies, I'm going to replace the bolt throwers with the Lothern Skycutters with bolt throwers because, well, you want to remain mobile. Although, funnily enough, bolt throwers, High Elven bolt throwers, one of the nice things about them is that their movement speed is actually quite high. At 35 here, I think their base is actually something like 30, and then this is buffed up by General Army speed buffs. But my point is that they move at roughly infantry speeds anyway, so you can keep them moving with your army. It's just that this particular army, between all the White Lions and Rangers and War Lions, is going to be significantly faster than regular infantry speeds anyway, so we would want something a teensy bit more mobile. Anyway, the enemy is still milling around, and frankly, these Black Orcs with great weapons have suffered about 50% of their HP and damage, which is, generally speaking, not so bad. I like it. I like it a lot. And in the meantime, since the enemy chose to wait, Corhill is going to be here in 10 seconds. We also have our War Lions and our Rangers waiting in the trees in reserve, because the Rangers like to fight in the trees there. And again, this is once again why it's making me consider putting them in Corhill's army instead of Alistar's, just because he gives a similar sort of... What the heck is going on? What is that? Kind of weird texture bug. Or is that a tree bouncing up around up there? Huh? I saw something. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about because that distracted me. Huh, and this house's foundation is floating as well. Just taking a look at the map for a second here since crazy things are happening. Interesting. Anyway, as I was saying, Coral gives the same sort of buff to the White Lions, as in the infantry, as opposed to, similar to the Rangers, so his army would be really good at fighting in the woods. The other thing then would be, we could give him Wood Elf units as well. We just need to get, you know, access to Wood Elven allies. Which is one of the biggest things making me doubt taking a Retribution over Unity at this time. I'll continue thinking about it for a while. Anyway, here we go, the battle begins. With the enemy moving towards us, the poor snotling pump wagons attempted to loop around us, but 3 eagles simply intercept them and tear them to shreds within seconds. First of the squig herds smash into our waiting units of white lions. Unfortunately, squig herds are a large unit, and the white lions will be able to, you know, get some benefit out of their anti-large. Granted, at only 10, their anti-large isn't anything too crazy, but it's still solid. And it's not like they don't hit really, really hard in the first place. That's 79 weapon strength. And this is without considerable amounts of veterancy. No rank 7 at the very least as yet, and without buffs. Anyway, there are giants on the field, and once again, the White Lions and War Lions are going to make use of their anti-large, at least the White Lions are. The War Lions are anti-infantry. And so are the... that White Lion got ripped to shreds. Or, you know, crushed. I keep getting distracted. Anyway, the Giants are in pretty bad shape. Both of them losing about 50% of their HP. They have done a little bit of the damage to the Noble leading the charge here, but otherwise we're looking pretty good. The enemy's backline in the meantime is getting absolutely mobbed by War Lions and Rangers, who again do look pretty good. Let's see, and the Rangers move at 46 speed, which is a tiny bit faster than the White Lions. I wonder if we get any further buffs specifically for the Rangers' speed. I'm just wondering whether they can keep pace better with War Lions than the White Lions can. But I do think that they match them pretty well. Especially with the sort of, a lot more of the sort of dark blue that they have on their cloaks and all of that. Either way, the Giants have been defeated by the War Lions and White Lions, and with the Giants, the rest of the enemy army is done for. The Black Orcs having achieved nothing, being maximally slowed down by Mathland's spike to 5 movement speed, while continuously taking hits from that Reaper Bolt Thrower, which by the looks of it did pretty well in this particular run. Alistar runs down the Black Orc Big Boss, or Savage Orc War, whatever War Boss, I think it was just a regular War Boss, down here, and as his weapon strength is now up to 1k, that's pretty good. We're looking pretty good overall with these two armies, and I'm excited to see what they'll look like in their final forms, and if we can get other kitties from other factions as well. Anyway. Alrighty, there we go. I mean, I figured that would go well, but that went really, really well. More so than I had originally been expecting. And I suppose with the White Lions absolutely tearing those giants apart, their anti-large great axes are just as good for chopping out giants' legs from under them as they are for felling big old trees. So yeah, worked nicely. And we actually had the opportunity to heal Coral up a little bit, so he's now at effectively full health, and we get 3.4k money out of it. I like it. I like it a lot. Also, solid 10k damage on one of the Exalted High Elven Rangers, matching one of the White Lions. Not the best performing White Lions, mind you, with these guys getting 19k. And for some reason, I forget why. I guess the Pure Main Company didn't quite... Oh, they were attacking a giant. 0 kills, but 9,000 damage? Yeah, that's what they were doing. Also, 139 kills and 11k damage on one of the White Claws. Very nice indeed. Ransom captives. Why are we ransoming orcs? I don't know. We just started. That's... Oh, hello, Freebo the Seafarer. I'll certainly take it. Campaign movement range +5, you say. Okay, I'll think about it. What will I think about? We'll get to it in a bit. Oh, actually, a moment. Okay, drill. You have banishment on you. Actually, out of curiosity, just I want to see something. Will banishment overwrite Sky Titan string or no? No, it will not. We'll have both of them. So in theory, we could give the Bow of the Seafarer to Kadril, which will also give her the benefit of the campaign movement range plus 5% and the ability. Granted, it'll make her attacks weaker, but I'm not actually sure that Princess's ranged attacks are all that strong. They don't quite have the range.
I'm waiting.
And I put you on foot because I kind of like you standing with your Lothern Sea Guard.
I serve the Phoenix King.
But I haven't decided yet. Either way, you'll want to get loose. Oh, wait, we already have loose on you, don't we? Ah, no, we have Quicksilver Shot. It's a different thing. Alright, well then. We'll take loose, unless we want to get a dedication going. We could just go straight to Mathland, because we have a bunch of Lothern Sea Guard in this army. What would be the other option? Isha, because it's basic archers. And admittedly, the casualty or punishment rate is probably going to be helpful to this army, but I'm inclined to say Mathland. These guys have been at sea a lot, and frankly, we're liable to send them back to sea, so Mathland it is. More likely than not, we'll have a fair few Mathland dedicated lords, so yeah. But I think that's appropriate as well. Alrighty, anyway, what was I saying? Oh, right, Bow of the Seafarer thing. There's additional campaign movement range. We'll give it to you for now, but if I want to switch you out later, we will then switch it out. I hate the idea that your minion has a better trait or a better contact effect and better range weapon than you do. But again, I've been very happy with how much range damage the handmaidens do, so not really complaining, to be honest. Anyway, let's go back to what we were doing out here. So, like I was saying, Corel will want to... Oh.
Your word.
We don't have a lot of... I was going to trade the Pure Main Company to Corel. But then what the heck do we trade him? Frankly, I would like to get a couple of Exalted White Lions in here, but they're tier 5, so it's going to be 8 million years until we get those. I guess we could do a spare High Elven Ranger. These guys are in here just temporarily. I mean, in theory, we could upgrade them to something. Oh! They can be upgraded to Shadow Warriors, eh? This is actually an interesting option because I was going to recruit some Shadow Warriors anyway. For the Spearman army. Not the Silver and Guard army, or the army that will have a lot of Silver and Guard, but specifically the Spears because it's a Nagaroth supported army, so the Shadow Warriors would be nice with them. Which would give us more of a reason to have these guys.
Ulthuan Prince.
I don't dislike the idea. Alright, Corel. I'm gonna say transfer one of your rangers away from now. We'll transfer them back, either to you or to somebody else. Also, if you go into ambush stance... okay. Quite work it the way I wanted it to. Also, are you able to... You're not able to reach Lyonesse from here. You can reach Castle Artois, but it's Lyonesse that I think we want. Because we need both armies to attack this, and I don't want to back off from Kuhannet at this current time. Oh, this guy could probably attack Barley Motte as well. It's a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. Alright, yeah, so Pure Main Company. We'll keep our Hogwarts Pride in Alistar's army. Yeah, take one of the Rangers. Like so.
How can I assist?
Alright, then Alistar, I would like you to go into, well, I guess not a stance, just go into Corona, I guess. Let's see if we can hit up Tancred's Castle next turn, or Tancred Castle. Whereas Corel, you will want to proceed to Lyonesse, I guess, next turn, so go right to the edge of Barley Motte here. And channel. You have no mana, so your mage is not going to be doing all that much, and I think you're saving your points, yeah, because you got a lot of good stuff at rank 10. And you're actually going to soon be reaching it. Alright, Kadril. Now the question with you is this. Do we head you to grab Mousillon so that we can... Yeah, I guess so. I really wanted to send you back out to sea. Oh, and frankly, if we do, we could have Borath trade you the rest of your stuff. But then we won't have Mousillon. What's the likelihood that these guys go for it rather than the enemies around them? It exists.
Princess, it shall be done.
I obviously really don't want to lose Bordelot as well. These guys should get killed by the dwarfs since they're chasing them. What's the likelihood that the orcs come down here?
Lady of the Phoenix Court.
I think we'll be okay. Alright, you know what?
We shall not
We'll be
rest.
okay. Yo.
Protect our
I will give you
Ulthuan.
Mad's map because you're going out to sea again. Then I would like you to make sure that you can reach us. So go down here.
Duty calls.
Actually, if we could have Cadril pick up a couple elven colonies on her way out to sea and whatever it is she's doing out there. There's a couple of Skull Islands we saw. That would be great as well. Anyway, you go out to sea as well. And do a minor little bit of trading. We'll take away the Exalted Illyrian Reavers, replace them for archers. Just, I wouldn't do it, it's just that the auto-resolve seems to hate the fact that we only have 2 melee cav here, so it's better to just use them with archers. And then we'll give you the Exalted Bolt Throwers, and replace one of the regular Sea Guard for now. These guys are the damage dealers, these 4 little archer units are the damage dealers in this army, so they're not going anywhere. And I wanted to get a Gate Guard, an Exalted Gate Guard ideally, but that's going to be prioritized to Tyrion here in place of at least one of these Sea Guard. It's just that we don't have those guys yet. Alrighty, and then these we will deliver to Corhill. They will take the place of the Warline Chariots until we get Warline Chariots, because we need a tier 4 building to construct them. Actually, speaking of constructing, let's do a little building, shall we? I believe we were going to do this. Go for Colonnade, go for Colonnade. And then Ilariel. I'm going to have you go right to the edge of here. We don't need to go into Torkar, and in fact it's going to be a while before we can build anything in Torkar, therefore we can actually switch you to Growth. Then you are going to follow Ilariel. We'll go to Torkarali. And frankly, maybe we just move southward to Elisali afterwards? We could if we really wanted to. Yeah, maybe we want to, because then we can get down to Lothern, and there's going to be tier 4 stuff to build there. Although it's not crazy expensive at this current time anyway. I'll think about it. We do have the money, so it's not the biggest of deals. Also, I'm still on the fence as to whether we go for promenades in this place or spam elven embassies. The nice thing about the embassies is they also give us influence per turn. Oh, actually, speaking of, you, sir. You are now influencer. Like so, and in fact, wait, secure influence and specialist. Again, I don't remember if you clicked. Oh, right, you can't click on anything. Okay, what about this? Secure influence. Ah, there is a chance to succeed and a chance not to succeed. Therefore, I guess we still will want this so that you increase your success chance. Fair enough. I mean, what can you do? Anyway, I do believe here we were going to build up this Blessed Grove temporarily, because eventually we'll delete it from this place once we have it in place in Torkar, because Krace is where we want to have those guys, but Cathedral Hold, and for now we will build the ancient subterranean palace. Lovely. And there's nothing further to end here, and unless, yeah, we can't move Ilariel to end her turn in any of these locations. Actually, speaking of Ilariel, I would like you to have, for now at least, a Eataine Vintner for +4 control, and a Bard for +2 more control. Everywhere you go, there should be a massive amount of control, and then I don't even know who Chinya is. Okay, you're gonna have the Minstrel as well. Who is Chinya? And does it matter? Probably not. Oh, actually, what does matter is this. I would like Belinair to follow either Tyrion or one of these guys around just to leech XP and then get a bunch of, well, XP. You know what, going to Misnar will help you land at Lyonesse. Until we can get your army up and running, you should have be following. Then Arathon, we're going to pop Azalanan into your army. Actually, you are going out here, are you not? I believe you are. We did want to go after Egrim, but I think we'll be fine. Go right here, very close to this place. I wanted you to land on Norska, because otherwise these guys are going to be annoying us for absolute ever. Like so. And then you're going to need your additional Skycutters and your heroes and stuff so that you can replace the spears, but, you know, until we can get those, we're just going to have to deal with it. Alright. speaking of dealing with it, we will want to deal with invasions of Albion, so let's build those defensive structures immediately, and I guess go for the Warhol as well. And just for more defensive capabilities, go for the Colonnade and go for the... I mean, I guess we'll still want to build the stone walls here, just make the place defensible until we have... until we've saved the Empire and Bretonnia and destroyed Norska and, yeah, all of this. We need this place fortified. And fortified well. So not much we can do about it right now. Alrighty. Kievan. Stay there for now. Until we get more capacities for stuff that we need to build. And I believe that's it. Minus any building or any further building we want to do. And any... What is this, Caranthel? Oh, right, I was in the midst of making a decision, promptly got distracted by something. I do still want that gate guard garrison to be able to build the gate guard, and we could build it temporarily just to recruit them, in theory. Even is close by, so we could very well do it. And just to have them delivered. Though at the same time, we can just as easily build them here as soon as this place reaches tier 3, which is going to be fairly soon, especially with the current invocation of Asuryan up and running with the construction cost reduction. Oh, actually, also, damn it. There's so many dang distractions. Patrons of the Realms. I do believe we were going to go for one of these next. There is Favor of Southern Yvresse, which will give us control +2 for all provinces and bump up or buff up the Arathon's Eagles and Skycutters. Yeah, we're going to do that. Alright. Now, Arathon the Silver and Talon, you are going to take patronage of South Yvresse. Like so. And like so. Bumping us down back to 33 influence only. I might have jumped the gun a little bit much on that, but whatever. It's free bonus control, which will create a lot more money for us as long as we get enough other things going. Frankly, the growth would also, additional growth would be really nice right now. Anyway, will this place need a promenade? I think not. It does generate money, but I'm going to go for the Elven Embassy here. And hope that I don't regret it. And there's several places and several other places where we may want to replace with more Elven Embassies, but again, later on. Anyway, I believe that's all the building, unless I'm mistaken. Was that Avalorn? Oh, we can upgrade Evershale. Assuming that Ilariel moves down here through this way, then she won't be at Evershale for a while, so we'll upgrade that right now. And Tortrinel is going to be a while as well, so we won't need to come here. Phoenix Gate we're not upgrading in. Oh, right, there was Kuran. Yeah, alright, fine. Let's start investing in it, I guess. I dislike the fact that there's a decent likelihood that they will also be highly likely to be attacked by Norska. It does mean that we will probably want to build defenses here, although Barley Mod is reasonably far. Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. More craftsmen. I gotta go with more craftsmen. Can't say no to generating cash already. Then we'll go for diplomacy. Let's see if we got anything new, especially trade agreement wise. No dice. That's the main thing I wanted. Daughters of the Forest. If you invade Ulthuan, we will cancel our agreement with you.
Standing orders.
And then promptly destroy you. We can confederate nobody. We can peace out with the Barrow Legion, having defeated Heinrich Kemmler last time. But otherwise, by the looks of it, we're good. Alright? Yeah. Alright, let's end the turn then and fight some Dark Elves. Outpost upgrade available with Yvresse. Oh, right. So what I wanted to see... is if we should upgrade this. You know, hold on to it for now, but we probably will upgrade this in short order, if nothing else for the additional influence. You know what? Actually, just spend the money. It's 4,000 gold. We could use it, but at the same time, more influence will be just generally better. We want all the patronage of the realms. Now I believe we can end the turn. And, actually, out of curiosity, we could actually give you the Sky Titans. Nah, the other army needs Shieldbreaker more. Admittedly. There's not much we can give you, to be honest. We don't have a lot of items. I can give you the Khane's Ring of Fury just in case for emergencies. Now, I'm gonna say yes. Let's give you the Khane's Ring of Fury for now. It may serve a purpose here. The rest of this stuff is not so much. You also will need a mage of some kind, but for now, let's skip. Let's hope that the enemy sallies out, and then we'll deal with them. Hopefully. And I hope I didn't forget anything, but if I did, it's too late now. And indeed, they will sally out. That's what I like to see. Unfortunately, without cavalry here, they're not going to be able to press our chariots, so I don't think this is going to go well for them. Go. Alrighty, for the king indeed. Here we go. Although perhaps for the Everqueen would be more appropriate in this particular army. There we go, the Eagle Claw Bolter is firing at the same time. Yeah, because we are using kind of the leftovers from Malarial's army in the form of all of the Treekin and the Dryads here. Anyway, this army may be about only 2/3 complete because of those leftovers, but we do have a decent bit of range firepower in the form of all of these bolt throwers. And the enemy is going to have probably a difficult time getting towards us with all the numbers of infantry that they have brought here. Interestingly, and unfortunately, this is a terrible map for us. We actually start on an incline, or decline rather, so that a lot of our units are having a difficult time positioning themselves and actually firing at the enemy, as in the artillery, because we don't have a very high arc on the Eagle Claw Bolters, and the entire enemy army started hidden from us in the frickin' woods here while we couldn't position well, and certainly not in the center, so yeah. Unfortunate, but what can you do? Anyway, we immediately peel away our Tyrannoch chariots, and the Thilmar chariots are here as well. They're both here. Oh, I do like the flags or banners that they have on them as well. I mean, this is part of the regular unit, not the banner mod, obviously, but they do look good. Anyway, these guys are going to be doing some damage. Tyrannoch chariots are pretty solid. They do very nice range damage, and you can certainly use them to snipe single entities, lords, and heroes, etc., etc. If Thilmar chariots can't quite do that, so we're going to immediately send them into melee to annoy and disrupt the enemy army. And the reason that we sent the chariots all to this side of the map is to keep them as far away from the Eagle Claw bolt throwers as possible, so that it limits the number of enemies that advance towards our, towards our bolt throwers, towards our artillery. Having a little bit of a shootout with the enemy shades with dual weapons. Got to be careful because they do apply bleed on their missile attacks and have already got 10,000 damage to their name. Shades have always been extremely strong. Armor-piercing, bleed-causing damage is pretty crazy, and that's without even considering the stock and the fact that they can fight well in melee. You can just spam shades and just win with Dark Elves, that's all you need. Though personally, I prefer spamming Black Arc Corsairs, but anyway, here we go. Looks like the first of the enemy Dread Spears and such have reached us. We're going to have to hold them off with our own spears, or hybrid spears. And hybrid spears. So the Lauder and Seaguard and our own regular spearmen hold the enemy back. And the chariots, of course, continue irritating the enemy as best they can, which so far has been pretty well. It's effectively split the enemy army in half and prevented a lot of them from, well, achieving too much. Plus, now that some of the enemies have engaged us, we are going to be able to rear charge them. There we go, the Tyrannoch chariots moving together to rear charge two of the enemies. And by the looks of it, shattering them, or at the very least heavily damaging them. Oh, gotta be careful, those bolt throwers, man. Again, this army isn't really supposed to have infantry at all, so eventually the bolt throwers shouldn't really be a danger to us. They could still hurt the chariots, but, you know. Actually, the biggest danger to the chariots in this particular army is, once again, the Black Arc Corsairs, though it's the handbow variant. A, they have anti-large, on their handbows. And B, of course, those handbows are going to be firing constantly in whatever direction. Firing while moving, etc., etc. So you can't really stop them when you're just charging them with chariots very well. Either way, I love to see the bolt rain from those Eagle Claw bolters. I know that generally bolters are kind of, you know, meh, or at the very least not well liked, but you can make them very strong in SFO. And plus the sheer amount of projectiles they send at the enemy is always just absolutely lovely to see. And obviously later on, we'll see even more of them as we can get some of the Exalted variants, which have 6 rather than 4 in their artillery pieces. Or 6 rather than 4 artillery pieces per unit. And we'll probably have a decent time combining a few of them with various armies as well, so that we have, well, arrow fire and bolt thrower fire. And whatever other kind of fire we do if we should ally with other factions. Anyway, it won't be these Dark Elves because these guys get destroyed pretty soundly by the looks of it. Our infantry did take damage, especially the basic spears, but these guys are here basically as a placeholder unit. They're going to get deleted once we replace what we need. And this army is going to get much stronger once we get Exalted Tyrannoc Chariots with Frostbite on their missile strength. Frankly, if we can get a couple of Handmaidens or the Princess with some... I don't remember the name of the item, but there's an item that gives you poison on your attacks, and you can put that on these guys. The alternative would be to get a couple of Glade Riders or something from the Wood Elves and, you know, slow the enemy down even further in combination with that Frostbite. It would be really nice is what I'm saying. Anyway, a lovely debut battle for this 2/3 of an army. I expect great things to come. Alrighty, there we go. Hindermara's army got kind of screwed by the terrain, which prevented the Eagle Claws from doing nearly as well as we'd like them to, but the best performing one still got 19k damage, and there's a solid couple of 17k, 11k, etc. damage there. The Ring of Khaine's Fury certainly came in handy, as it does in Tyrion's army. Unfortunately, we weren't able to destroy one unit of Black Ark Corsairs, so we'll have to waste the next turn to capture the place, assuming we don't get punted out of it. But nonetheless, chariot-wise, with 13k damage, it's one of the Tyrannoc chariots, but I'm not super surprised. I've said it before, but I like the Tyrannoc chariots better than the Thilmar chariots, as, I don't know. If you want a melee chariot, you can go with the Warlion chariot for the additional armor-piercing damage and generally increased tankiness, whereas the Tyrannoc chariots can still function like chariots just fine, but can also snipe single entities. So, I don't know, they just seem superior to me. But that's just me. Anyway, we will take the 3.3k, I think. We can heal these guys up, but they're not actually that important a part of this army. Would have been really nice if we could have killed you off. What can you do? Ransom the captives. Plus we did just spend a bunch of cash as well. Alrighty, and then Hag Grief will fall. We do want that very, very nice landmark here. I would actually really prefer to get a duel between Tyrion and Malekith if we can make it happen. I don't know that we can. You'll have to travel over here. But I wasn't going to send him to Norska anyway, so this is probably the best option. Funnily enough, if we go for Unifier, rather than Unity rather than Retribution, the plus 100 relationship with all factions would probably allow us to hold both the Sword of Khaine and, if we really wanted to, the Nemesis Crown without that hurting us because of the massive increase to relationship with everybody. The Man-Eater's destroyed. Interesting. Hindermara, get a Bard of Thilmar, Steed, Alistar, Sun Dragon. No. That feels wrong. The Isle of Ulthuan, Ancient Subterranean Palace. And, yes, we built the landmark. Okay, we'll give this a read in a bit. Ready for duty, Lorien Archmage. Okay, we got a bunch of Archmages coming back up. There's that chariot thing. Convoy completed, Yelgrin, and you get 2 Croxagors. Ooh. That's a nice find, Yelgrin, as well as the Black Dragon Egg, which is a breath attack, which as I recall isn't all that strong, but, you know, overall this still gives a fairly significant increase to melee attack and weapon strength. I'll take it. Alrighty, then we can send out a new convoy. Yelgrin, having completed his trip to the Great Turtle Isle. We're currently on the way to Miragliano here, so we'll send whoever else is... ready. So Ambassador to the Asuryan. Oh, you're still a little bit damaged. Not that damaged, mind you. I don't really care for the Naval Artillerist. I guess we're better off just sending you again, Ingmir. In Ingmir, I trust. Let's see. You have hidden stores. We're not yet ready to start saving points for your higher ranks or sale value of cargo, and the benefit of going for the sale value of cargo is it also gives us unit experience gain per turn. Not a lot, but combined with Inspiring Presence, over time it'll tick by and it'll give us useful stuff. Anyway, Bel Edanel Convoys headed to Miragliano, so we could send Ingmir, I guess, to Kofor, which is right beside it. Seems like the way to go. Hopefully it's safe. There was a rogue fleet out here somewhere. Watch him run into another one. Wait, let me just double check. Aha! Wait. Yeah, absolutely see, not. You're actually very close to us, and you're at 16 out of 20, eh? Freebooters of Port Royal. We really need somebody to sink this. I guess we'll send Cadrill around that way. And quite... Oh, actually, maybe she can. Ha ha ha. I say. Thanks to Mad's map and the fact that we have Kevin here, we can send you around. Actually, I wonder, Kevin, you can reach this. Yes. But if we put the hero in your army, I take it you could not?
I am a fount of knowledge.
Yeah, no dice. Alright, fine. Noble, leave army. Actually, you're gonna go out to sea anyway, so yeah. We'll do this, and then Cadrill, you'll reinforce against Eben Warner. Probably could have done some other stuff before attacking, but all good. And this is the remnants of the freebooters of Port Royal. We've already defeated them with Ingmir's convoy. I don't think there's a need to defeat them again. Goodbye. Especially without Gentleman Jenkins at the head of the column. Great Eagle for Ingmir, sure. Alright, now Cadrill. I believe you were going to pick up a few islands and grab a few colonies, or former elven colonies. We can't grab Bilbali as yet, but we will send a proper army down there in a little bit. You will then stay in our own territory so that you can make sure to heal. Being honest, sure, why not? And then you are going to get back to Lothern. You are still the recruiter man. I guess we'll get you merchant lord. Oh, let's see how much this increases our money now. 5177.
Your bidding.
5218. Yes, still not all that much. I mean, eventually, in the late game, at the very least, it'll be worth a lot more. Anyway, we have Awakening of the Ancient Ones, Extravagant Murals. There we go. Control and income from entertainment buildings. More control, good. Plus 67. Yeah, that's pretty decent. Also well done once again to Cadrill. She's rank 11 now. Oh, but she needs to be rank 12 to get Regent of the Kingdom. And frankly, it's Master Archer that we want, so let's save the... Well, no, let's get loose. And darken the skies, and then we'll go through that anyway. Well, we'll still go through... You know what I mean. Ooh, also, I note that you have rank 10, meaning... Yeah, you have some spells. I'm going to say let's at least grab Mistress of the Deeps. I do really like Writhing Mist as well, but I think we want to increase our mobility. Cadrill has a long way to go. 1,000,000 islands to pick up, and I want to grab the Skull Islands that we saw last time. Oh, you stole one by the looks of it. Oh, no, you didn't. It's quite far, though. But it is close to a former elven colony here. At Socotra. Perhaps a good idea to pick that up, then. Also, I see that Arcan is doing quite well. Good for him. Yeah, lots of islands down here. Oh, and another Skull Island. Yeah, those are definitely on the menu as soon as we can get them. Anyway, What are you doing? What was the plan here, buddy? I don't think it was going to work out, whatever it was. Anyway, I guess we could... Huh. You know what? If we could get you up to rank like 14, we could still use you as a recruiter or something, Lord. So let's have you follow along for now. Tyrion, you're going to hold off on your armor. We'll keep an eye on Helm of Dreska, see what happens. And who is Wastara? Wait, weren't you supposed to... A moment. Oh, did something enter... What the heck? You traveled really far. Colin. Yeah.
Ready to serve.
You have the new handmaiden that's past rank 17, or 16, or whatever it was. You guys will kill this, and then go northward, partly to Capitano Sisico, and partly to try to deal with Malekith out of result. And, oh, hopefully this will give you the rank 5. No, it will not. Okay, well then screw you too, game. And Shield to tell us is fine, but then nothing at the very least. And, oh, you could grab this island, grab it from here, maybe?
Setting sail.
He'll be right beside Capitano Sissoko, who would probably... I want to do this, but I want to stay in our own territory so that we heal.
To adventure.
There we go. With Carcass. How much damage will we take if we do this? That's a question. The auto-resolve. It's probably gonna tear the poor ships companies to shreds, and Capitano Sissoko has a good army. I'm tempted to say that we're better off fighting this because Capitano Sissoko will most likely attack us. Damn it, alright, let's do this real... Well, I mean... Yeah, we can still do a cinematic here. I mean, it's not much of a fight, but there's still Rotting Leviathan and Depth Guard and stuff. I still, like, enjoy watching those guys die and stuff. Go.
Our enemy will run from us. The flames of SUNFANG biting at their heels.
Alright, Tyrion looks pretty good with the SUNFANG mirroring the sunset or sunrise, whatever we're seeing here, as well as the sort of darker waters and the terrain mirroring the barding of his steed Malhundir. Anyway, here we go. It's going to be a quick, short battle, I would imagine, but it doesn't mean it won't be a fun one. And it is also an opportunity to not only reduce the casualties on our units for an inevitable attack by Capitano Sissoko, but also at the same time to perhaps, hopefully, level up these Illyrian Reavers into Silver Helms so that they can, well, join the rest of the cavalry here. Plus, I want 2 lances and 2 swords on the Silver Helms. Here we go, and you gotta admit the High Elven war hosts do look pretty darn great. I'm gonna get around the enemy army, and so are our flyers, though we do have to be careful because, as always, ignoring the noble and ignoring Caradhran, everybody will target the Phoenix. They always bloody well do. We're gonna get him with a quick fiery convocation, which clips one of their units and damages the other 2, but that was only to herald the arrival of our cavalry. The Illyrian Reavers and Silverhelms smash into the waiting zombies, regardless of the fact that some of them have polearms. The enemy range units get absolutely crushed on the charge, and I don't expect the melee units will survive all that much longer either. And the enemy lord, in the meantime, is advancing towards us, although we could probably just, we could concussion the enemy lord rather quickly, and I think perhaps it might be more fun for Tyrion to fight some Depth Guard or the big beastie instead. Depth Guard close the distance, but unfortunately for them, similar to other elite forces that we have encountered in the past, the Keepers of the Flame are there to meet them. Even without Caradhran at their head, I would expect our polearms to be superior to that of the enemy. And stats-wise, our melee defense on these guys is absolutely insane, but they're sort of the core of our infantry ranks. And we will, as usual, move up the company of the Calendarian and their armor-piercing axes to help out. It looks like Tyrion has hacked apart the enemy Rotting Leviathan. Sorry about the camera jumping around in this battle, I'm not entirely sure why. My mouse is kind of a mess, so it does that sometimes. Either way, but the enemy elite's defeated with the enemy lord pin-cushioned. Only the polearms remain in between the flyers, and now Tyrion coming back in to join the fray. I really need that fire sorcerer or mage in this particular army as well. Once again, to buff up all the fire damage. And to make us hit a little bit harder. If we can get a couple of banners of Eternal Helm on the Silver Helms, ideally Exalted Silver Helms at some point, that would be really great. Haven't found any so far, but hopefully we can bump up those item numbers as we get more heroes with Retinue Valet or Scouting on them. Anyway, decisive victory, completely unsurprisingly, but still some nice shots of stuff doing stuff. I like it when stuff does stuff. Alright, there we go. Quick little fight, no problem at all. We could actually heal to full here, but either way, we will end this turn in friendly waters, so we should heal to full. So we're free to ransom captives and keep taking them. The money, I'm hoping you don't move out of our friendly waters, though. No, it looks like we're okay.
Embark.
Alright, and again, decent likelihood the Capitanos is going to attack us next turn, but that is
Princess of the Asur.
fine. Colin,
Make all haste.
I guess the question is, do you follow these guys or do you move these spare troops to another army down here? Frankly, if Arathon is going to be rid of these spears soon,
Princess.
Colin's a decent option to move down here, though the other problem is this. There is military presence here in Skjold, and they could, in theory, show up and attack you. They can move really far. You know what? I feel like the safer thing to do is either land at the Isle of Wights.
Lethal grace given form.
In fact, there may not be an either about it. Alright, you know what? Here's what we'll do. Arathon, to start with. Huh? 50 armor on Eagles. Wait, was the base armor 30? Moment. Yeah, you have the plus 20 armor versus for Eagles. Okay, fine. Thought it was going to be more. Also, grab Naval Discipline. Might as well have that charge defense versus large and immunity to flanking. I don't think we need Trident techniques all that much right now. We want Ulthuan's first line for the additional armor. Gotta armor up those Eagles as much as eagerly possible. And Silver Torrent is also Eagles. Oh yeah, this is terrible. And Skymaster is terrible. Unfortunately. I get a big pile of weapon strength for the Eagles, but nothing to make them tankier, which is going to be quite the issue, but oh well. Yeah, you're going to be attacking pretty well, though, I gotta say. Alright, for now then, Skymaster is for Eagles, and then I take it Bowmaster includes the Lothern Skycutters. Though, funnily enough, Vanguard Master's for the melee variant as well, but they'll need ammunition, so we'll start going through Bowmaster. Just need to make sure that we pay attention to saving for rank 12. Anyway, you're gonna grab whatever's here. With Carcass, and auto-resolve it, it's going to hurt all of our spearmen, right? Yeah. Not surprised by that, but that's alright. Or at least it's not a major concern, and that's another island under our belts, and alas, still no materials at sea. Alright, go here. I'd like to see if there's anybody at Skjold, or if that's somewhere else. And there's nobody there. Since there's nobody there, I take it that the military presence is out here elsewhere, which means Colin is safe to move down here and join one of these guys then. And leech the XP. Plus we want to meet up close to where Belinair is, as well as Borath. In fact, perhaps we use Borath to go into Bordelot, grab Mousillon, and then transfer the rest of the units. I think that's the better use of our time, because then we won't have to worry about one of these guys taking Mousillon. And we don't care about having too much territory out there. Oh, also, we sank these guys, meaning the convoy is free to travel, meaning Ingmar, once again, you are headed down to Gopher. Like so. And then, yeah, we could do all of these. Hopefully that'll make it easier for me to remember where everybody's been. Dispatch. Alrighty, and then Ingmar, you are at Maragliano, so we'll send whoever's next either to Socotra or to Berikvar. Alright, don't request, we need the influence and such. And looks good. Next up, Alistar. I do believe you were heading to Tancred Castle. In fact, wait, are you able to do this in? Yes, you are.
No mercy.
Go to Tancred Castle, but it's Marienburg that we're really after. Yeah, that's actually a decent amount of troops. It's worth fighting. It's a minor settlement. Alright, fair enough. Oh, right, we don't have a Pure Main Company anymore. Well then. I'm gonna say give Bjorntur to one of you guys. Probably try to grab a couple of more White Lions Exalted variant in here in a bit. Corel, I'm going to say you're gonna push to Lyonesse.
I will do my duty.
Ideally. Hopefully this guy can no longer reach us here. And, huh, is this guy is Turg trying to grab Mousillon? I wonder. Alright, you besiege this. Did that the wrong way around. Like so. And I would like, if possible, Belinair the Wise to land here, assuming that you can land on this side. And by the looks of it, you can. Good. Land here, leech XP, fight with Corel until you're ready to get your own army.
Loremaster of Hoeth.
Loremaster of Hoeth, yes. Then here we will need growth. I mean, in theory, there's other buildings to be built, but it's going to be a while. Tor Anlek, we can push towards you, but I feel that we're better off going down here instead. Alright, so I think maybe we'll send both of you down there then.
Master of high magic.
Towards Lothern and towards Caranthel. The upgrades here will allow us to save a fair bit of money, and we just have to wait the one extra turn. Maybe build another Elven embassy while we're at it. Alrighty, and then Lothern's kind of in the same situation. We can actually maybe start on the archive and just upgrade the second tier of the archive at a higher rate. Let's do that. And the theater isn't super critical right here right now, so we'll leave that alone as well. What would be the other building that we'd want to build in Lothern proper? Ooh, if we build the Temple of Asuryan right now, we could get access to another Phoenix. Oh. Disappointingly, it only gives us 1 unit capacity. Meaning, considering we already have a Flamespire Phoenix, we wouldn't be able to build another one immediately. Huh. Well, that's tremendously unfortunate. Well, either way, I think we still want to build the Shrine of Asuryan. It is free after all. The price is right. In Gaianvale, yeah, it's going to be a long time until the next tier. Frankly, rather than the embassy, we're probably better off building the homestead and increasing the growth here. Also, this place is far enough away from you two that I think we're better off upgrading it. And we do have the cash after all. Alrighty, anyway, I interrupted going down the line here. Hanamara, you, assuming you had not gotten punted out, which you have not, will auto-resolve this. And we will take Hagri for ourselves. Lovely. And, ooh, right, we got a blurb. Yes, this blurb. I gotta remember not to end the turn. Yet. Alright, and Haggrief. We didn't get to keep the face of Haggrief. This is the main thing that we came out here for. You got the White Lion building, which is not what we want either. Probably want to build that defensive structure. Alright, for now though, you stay there. And we do have Tech Thievery to do. Well, ideally. I don't know if you'll actually be able to reach it and you're waiting for Focused Mind. Give it a try at Ancient City of Quintex and success. Well done. Just gotta get to rank 10 and you'll be looking good. Influencer. I feel that these guys will be dead by the time you get to them. Who do you want to go and influence? Morgar, I guess? He's the closest one. Plus, I actually would like to keep an eye on what's going on down there, so let's send you around that way. Now, we don't have any additional hero capacity, as I recall. Oh, we do have an extra handmaid. Oh, we do actually have... Oh, we got another conscientious noble. Yeah, I gotta get another conscientious noble out. Diplomatic relations with humans and high elves. Your recruit rank for nobles. Lord recruit rank +2. Gotta have it. You'll be another influencer. It will come in handy. And you can go specialist into Skier Influence. Lovely. Alrighty, and if we wanted to, we could get a... No, we cannot get a Mistmage. We can get an Incendiary Mistmage. We get a Handmaiden. Second is great. Growth for all provinces, but is it worth 50 influence right now? I fear that it isn't, so perhaps we wait. And we do have until next turn anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Alrighty, I believe that is that. We are besieging this, and these guys will most likely sally out. Corel, you did level up once, but oh yeah, you're saving your points, so that's fine. Alright, any other buildings to build? We're waiting on some of the Eataine stuff. Shrine of Loek, same thing. These guys will get here next turn, so we may as well... Well, yeah, well, if we do the embassy here, then yeah. Although, on the other hand, perhaps it would be better off to get the growth building here, because it's going to be a long time. You know what? Yeah, let's go for the growth. We'll get more embassies later. We absolutely will. But for now, we need these. Nagaroth, this is far enough away that I think we upgrade the promenade immediately, and hey, Nagaroth's actually gaining public order. Isn't that lovely? Albion, I think your public order is actually going to be fine by virtue of all of the walled settlements, or, yeah, walled defenses, therefore you can collect your money. Your growth is going to be stymied by a fair bit, if we do. Admittedly, we would want to... You know what? Let's collect it once these two are both upgraded to tier 3 and can fully defend themselves, rather. Valzanville up to the next tier. Absolutely critical, yes. And Kuhan. Yes to the Elven Artisan. Yes to the Haven. Next up, we got Diplomacy. Any new trade agreements? No.
Heed my
Close but not quite yet. Arguelon. Wargrove of Woe. Lots want a non-aggression pack with us. See Lotus Yakshir still alive down here, I see. I'm gonna say non-aggressive Arguelon at the very least. I'm not gonna do any kind of, like, full alliance with them. Well, no, we still want their units. That's the thing.
call me.
That's the big thing. Getting access to more units of various factions. Or at least waiting for them. Illyrian and Yvress want the alliances. We're gonna ignore that, and the same with the Barrow Legion's request for peace. I do believe with that. Outpost available with nobody important, unless I'm mistaken. Well, again, there is reason to build these for influence. Do we want any Bretonnian units? I don't think there's anything that they have that we would need. I guess we don't have anything that would be like Pegasus Knights or Royal Pegasus Knights. We do have Dragon Princes, so cavalry-wise we're set, and obviously Bretonnian infantry is bleh. So I feel like this is not all that useful to us. Though for 2,000 gold, the influence per turn may still be quite nice. Oh, but we can't build it... I mean, I guess we could do Castle Bastan. Let's do Castle Bastan. Also, we have an ally mission, Turg. Why not? Why not Turg? Ooh, before I almost ended the turn, we do have a blurb. It's been a while, it feels, so let's blurb it up. Cathic's cities and fortresses are more practical and of much sturdier build than those found in other realms. After all, they were designed primarily to survive the weather rather than serve as aesthetic examples. Indeed, the realm's true treasures can be found underground amidst the network of caves and caverns that honeycomb the region's cliff faces and valleys. It was to here that the folk of Cathic retreated during invasions of times past, and over the centuries, that which was born of necessity became a way of life. Now, many of Cathic's palaces lie beneath the surface. Their walls are the land's alabaster rock, brilliant polished, and decorated, I should say, with a webwork of finely wrought silver and star sapphires. No shadow falls here, for darkness is a fit companion only for goblin warrens and the grim redoubts of the dwarfs. Instead, Cathic's grottos and halls are lit by the most accomplished mages of the realm. Anywhere else in the world, underground halls such as these would be under constant threat from the Skaven, but to Ulthuan, which rests not on bedrock but is rather held upon the waves by magic, the Ratmen can make no subterranean passage. Alas, don't give them ideas. Alas, as glorious as the halls of Cathic are, the finest were lost during the dark days of the Sundering. The waters of the Eastern Ocean rose up in a mighty wave and flooded the palaces nearest to the sea. Though the waters mostly retreated, as it did not in Tiranoc and Nagaroth, no elf will lightly enter those chambers, for the bitter tang of the sea and the stench of the wave-rotten dead hangs heavy about them. Indeed, Cathican mariners tell that the spirits of the drowned still haunt those passages, holding court amongst tapestries of tangled kelp and hoards of tarnished treasure. Sounds like a fun time for everyone involved. Anyway, I'm tempted to grab Enveloped by Mist, but at the same time, I need the second point in Ladriel's Shroud to get it to act as a heal, so that's pretty critical there. Outpost available, building upgrade available. I do believe we're ending the turn. Anybody else? No? Alright. Oh, wait. You're not ending the turn. These guys are here, but these guys are able to attack, so... Noble, to start with you, the Crushing Noble, who likes crushing things. The Orphan Crushing Machine. Let's see. Iolair, Orphan Crushing Machine. Okay. Yeah, we'll want a steamed combatant. That amused me tremendously. Anyway, let's get you some levels. I mean, could keep going through Earthblood or an emergency Flesh to Stone, but probably a good idea to get Regrowth and Dwellers below ASAP. And again, keeping in mind that this Mage of Life is not going to stay in this army. You, Alistar, keep maxing out Master Strategist to keep pumping up those Exalted White Lions. I still don't know whether we're keeping the Exalted Hive in ranges with you or giving them to Corels, so we'll wait on that. It depends. And then same with the War Lion Chariots, I guess. So we'll keep Master Strategist. And I guess we are free to get Vanguard Master for the War Lions. Because we're keeping the war lines in this army regardless. Alright, let's fight these guys though. Yep.
Asuryan wills it.
Alrighty, here we go. Minor settlement battle. Let's see how well our war lions and white lions, well actually more so the white lions here, and do in the sort of tight confines and, well, vulnerability to a range fire that moving through an enemy settlement will confer. We do have solid missile resistance at 40% and 80 armor, but, well, I was about to say our melee defense on these guys, well, the base melee defense, is rather low, but between martial prowess, I'm actually surprised that the white lions actually have martial prowess rather than martial mastery. I gotta double check whether the exalted variant has martial mastery instead. Because you'd think that the bodyguards of the Phoenix King would be, you know, pretty masterful at axing people some pointed questions. Anyway, here we go. The war lions are not, well, white lions rather. War lions are on the other side of the map, which I'll get to in a moment. But the white lions stream on in, arrows of course are raining down upon them, and they engage the enemy boys and biggins, which are hitting pretty decently well. Biggins are at 55 melee attack, plenty of armor piercing damage, so actually a very solid foe to use against white lions. And there we go, some of the war lions have been kept on this side as well and have joined the fray. And for now, we have a life lore mage in this army, eventually to be replaced most likely by a beast lore mage, but, you know, we'll get there. In the meantime, our single bolt thrower will be going after those orc arrow boys which continue firing upon us, and our rangers, as well as the most of our war lions, or at least 3 out of 5, were deployed in the woods here, and are hitting the enemy settlement from this side. There are not too many enemies defending, and thus they should be able to overrun whatever foes they encounter reasonably quickly. Ooh, I'm seeing some damage here. The Order of the Main has lost about 40% of their HP, which is a fair bit. These guys have 15k HP and solid stats. But the arrows are coming down upon them non-stop. They're just gonna have to keep hacking their way through those orcs, though. That's not changing. I do like watching these guys in action. I'm always glad to see units that, you know, in other campaigns I've had a tendency to leave Rangers and White Lions to a little bit later. In this one, we went for them earlier because, you know, to, you know, be different from the previous campaigns, which is working for me. Alrighty, just gotta get some Swords Masters up and running ASAP so that we don't leave those guys to last. Especially since 2 of our armies, assuming we confederate Teclis, I still haven't decided whether I want to confederate Teclis or leave him to his own devices, because we have Belinair to command the Swords Masters. But I'll think about it. Either way, for now, it's White Lioning time, and the White Lions are doing pretty darn well. The bounce power has shifted to about 70% in our favor, and the Rangers and War Lions on the other side of the map have arrived. Does look like the enemy moved its fast movers to intercept them. 2 units of War Boys heading out, and admittedly, the War Lions and Rangers alike are anti-infantry units, so they're going to struggle a little bit more with the War Boys than the White Lions would have, but at the same time, I think that we still have the advantage in stats here. And we should be able to tear them to shreds over time, especially since these guys can't maneuver. The rest of the Rangers are fighting some enemy infantry here and quickly, very quickly hack those War Boys apart. Or regular Orc Boys apart, rather. And frankly, against trash infantry like regular Orc Boys, I would expect the anti-infantry units of Rangers to actually kill a fair bit faster than the White Lions. Yes, they don't hit anywhere near as hard, but A, they have anti-infantry, B, they have faster attacks, so, you know, tearing apart trash infantry would work better for them. But then against Biggins, I would expect the White Lions to do significantly better. Since it's a field battle, it's not a field battle, though we're not getting quite as much rock, paper, scissors as we otherwise might. Ooh, and here comes Dawa, the Boar Boys and Orc Boys. Yeah, everybody's hitting about as hard as we are now. Orc Biggins are up to 83 melee attack, might be considerably harder, or have more melee attack, rather, than our White Lions do. So they'll still be hitting back. And actually, their weapon strength is also pretty up there, 72 on the Biggins, almost matching the White Lions. Unfortunately for the enemy here, this is not enough Wa, and this is a basic regular Wa. Grom's Wa is much scarier because it also heals them. And I don't remember what Skarsnik and Grimgor's Was do, but, well, all the special Was are special, go figure. Anyway, the battle is nearly ours at this point, with the bounce power at about 90% in our favor. The white lines have nearly made their way through, and, well, there were some enemy units, error boys, in the back line. Our mage has led a contingent of white lions towards them. They are now surrounded, and Rahagra's Pride has joined in to help out as well. Plus we have some eagles for this army temporarily, so they're helping out, though they did take damage here. Actually a fair bit of it. 30% HP remaining, but no models lost, and thus they will recover to 100% of their HP. Can't quite say the same for the white lions. Here the Order of the Main's down to about 50% of their HP, but they have only lost 14 of their models, so they'll recover pretty handily as well. Lovely. Unfortunately, with the giant piles of regular boys and other units, they just didn't have enough alpha to knock out too many models, and thus will allow us to easily recover. Alrighty, there we go. Fairly nice fight. We actually took a fair bit of damage on a decent number of the white lions, unsurprisingly, because they have very low melee defense, so orcs and orc boys, regular orc boys and biggins do trade fairly well against them. Unfortunately for them, that, well, let's just say it wasn't quite well enough. Anyway. We got solid 125 kills and 16k damage on Alistar himself. The Order of the Main with 17k. Ooh, but getting beaten out by the 28 and 27k of these other two White Lion units. Interesting. Though the fighting was thicker for where these two attacked than where these two did, they were not supported by Alistar and the Noble. Our Rangers sort of brought up the rear and hit the enemy army together with some of the war lines from the other side. And actually, speaking of the war lines, 34k damage, 45k damage on these guys. Very nice. That's probably the bleed effect, i.e. they were, well, they apply bleed when they on their attacks, and thusly do fairly well. Huh. Do saber tusks have maim, or do they also have bleed? Wait, no, you know who has maim? I'm pretty sure snow leopards have maim. We should try to get those. Because maim and bleed together is going to be real nasty. Yes, anyway, hey, Marches of Kuhan secure. Now, normally we may not care that much about Marches of Kuhan. Also go for the homestead here. But, since we're looking to grab from Marienburg to Bordeaux, the Great Harbors, we can hopefully hold sort of this area, but give back the territory to Bretonnia, that's down here. Plus, obviously, the former Elven colony here at Toralessi, and frankly, we should probably rename you to Toralessi now that we have you. There we go. Alright, any elven colonies reclaimed should be renamed, but the renaming will have to continue next time as we're out of time this time, and I'm going to have to call this particular episode here. Next time, wait, is this a new turn? No. We will most likely have a fight with Capitano Sisico, who has a great army and will definitely be a challenge for Tyrion to fight, especially whilst damage. Ooh, hello. Illyrian Reavers reached rank 5, meaning we have 2 Silver Helms with lances. Let's get the Silver Helms with swords. Lovely. And we got the Glittering Host Silver Helms, so we'll give that a read. Hopefully I remember at the start of next episode. Yeah, so we'll give a fight to those guys, and then Tyrion will sail towards Nagaron to try to get and occupy the Black Tower of Malekith, but most importantly perhaps to actually just get a duel going in Malekith. We should also try to see if we can buy Clark Haron from these guys. They obviously don't care for the... they don't care about their minor settlements, their outposts. So we should try to take advantage of that. And then, of course, Cadril will continue traveling southward, and frankly, there's a million things to do in this campaign still. Keep upgrading all of our buildings and getting access to those new units, as well as allies and their units as well. Stay tuned for all that. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.